Impeachment hearings started earlier today in the House Intelligence Committee. Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford gave up his seat on that committee temporarily so that Jim Jordan could sit in on the hearing. Well, Congressman Rick Crawford is with us now. Why did you do that, sir? Why give up your seat?
Well, look, I joined the committee to focus on intelligence issues, not to join the impeachment fray, and nobody did. This is not the impeachment committee, it's the intelligence committee. Jim Jordan has been a member that's been involved from the get-go in order to maintain the continuity with regard to the Republican response to impeachment. I thought it would be a good move to allow him to step into that position while I take a temporary leave of absence. I mean, we're not doing anything on the committee anyway with regard to intelligence, so it's about having the best, most qualified players on the field in order to try and effectively push back.
Trouble is, though, the chair, Adam Schiff, he controls the rules, and he has said Jim Jordan does not appear until the very, 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 very end, and he'll only get 5 minutes. So he's trying to upset your plan to get a real professional in there. That's what's just happened.
Well, that's true, and that's just another indication of what a sham process this is. There's not even anything remotely consistent with previous impeachment proceedings that we saw with President Bill Clinton and we saw with President Nixon. And so, having Jim Jordan there, I think, is an important move. He'll get a chance to be the bulldog that he is. But, obviously Adam Schiff took that as an opportunity to counter and try and blunt the effects that Jim Jordan will bring to the table.
Congressman, one of my colleagues sitting right next to me just made a very interesting comment. With Nixon, it was a break-in. With Clinton, it was sex.
Yeah.
With Trump, it's a phone call to Ukraine. I'm not exactly turned on by these hearings. Are you?
No, I'm not. What bothers me the most about this is these individuals in question all did a dress rehearsal in the closed setting. And what they did was Adam Schiff said, okay, we're going to take the best that we have to offer that support the narrative that we're trying to put forth, and we're going to bring them out into the open setting because they support the narrative. But here's the thing, and most of these people, you'll hear it in their testimony, they were not part of the conversation. We're talking about third and fourth hand accounts of a phone call. This is like REO Speedwagon, heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another. There's no first-hand account here from any of these witnesses, number one. Number two, last time I checked, it was the president who sets policy, and it's their job to implement. If you don't like it, you're free to resign. You can keep your morals and your integrity intact, but instead what they're trying to do is operate like true deep state bureaucrats and affect policy on their own terms, regardless of what the president says.
My colleague Greg Jarrett said this earlier on the Fox News channel. He said, look, George Kent, we've seen him this morning, George Kent believes there was a quid pro quo. He got that from Bill Taylor, who got it from Tim Morrison, who got it from Gordon Sondland, who just presumed there was a quid pro quo. You got all of that? I mean, does that turn you on? Do they expect the great American middle to follow that intimately, in detail, and get riled up about impeachment?
It doesn't do a thing for me. Look, if they were actually trying to make a case that there was some sort of quid pro quo, I would also point to the fact that the Obama administration engaged in quid pro quo numerous times in order to affect their foreign policy. And so it's not out of the realm of possibility or probability or even normal practice that the administration will engage and say, we're going to give you some funding, but we expect this or that out of you. It happened in Guatemala, it happened in Honduras, El Salvador, the Northern Triangle countries that were, look, we want you to play ball with us on immigration. We'd like to support you, but we're going to require something for it. Is that what we've become, is just basically a piggy bank to the world? We're going to give you all this money, no questions asked. I know the Obama administration did that with Iran when they flew in, a pallet of cash to give to the mullahs there, but that's typically not sound policy, and that's certainly not what President Trump's been about.
Rick Crawford, Congressman, Republican, Arkansas. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, sir. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.